So let's talk about, so now October the 10th, celebration happens, but now the work starts, right? I would assume that you guys have been laying the groundwork of trying to figure out how to get everything laid out once you got approved and ready to get up and going. So we got approval for charter school, and just because of my ignorance, layout for me kind of, and this is going to be a specialized school, layout for me, are we from a traditional K through 12? Are we just focused on primary grade school type age? How does that lay out within this program?
ACE is K through 5 currently. We hope to add a grade each year after year 3. But because the setup will be very different in the classrooms and throughout our school, we want to ensure the stability and that all of our staff are comfortable with the process of ACE. It will look very different in these classrooms than what traditional school has currently. So we have to do a lot of professional development. Our teachers will actually have 3 weeks of professional development in July.
So how many teachers do you guys already have?
We don't have any yet. We did.
Okay.
We could not start that process until authorization happened.
perfect.
So, but we've had several contact us and want to know what the process is. So we're looking forward to taking their resumes and moving forward with hiring. We are contracting ABA therapy, which is applied behavior analysis.
I got to meet her the other day. I don't have her name off, but I think she might be the owner. Who are y'all working with?
We're working with Ben Nicholson.
Okay, maybe a different
Could be.
place.
Currently,
Well, tell me a little bit about them and what they're going to do for.
Well, currently in the school system, they don't have ABA therapy integrated into the classrooms, which is really needed. So parents go and pick their children up during the academic day, noon or so, or they arrive late, so that they can get this intervention. And it's so valuable, but it would be more valuable in real time in the classroom, and that's what we're modeling.
So it's, and you guys, please correct me if I misspeak here. It's my understanding that the Ouachita Parish school system has a department that specializes in kids with that are not learning at the same pace or have special needs when it comes to learning. And I'm also under the understanding that there's been times where specialized services have been allowed to come in, but sometimes it's school specific, or it seems to me we have a very big deficit within the public school system in addressing specific needs for kids with different learning capacities. Is that a fair statement?
It's a fair
So
statement.
there's a deficit there in that area, right?
Yes.
Yes,
Because if it was perfect, you guys would not be trying to create something.
exactly.
Not to pick on them too much, but when you have a parent that has needs for a child and the public can't serve that need, how are children getting educated?
They're not. To be quite honest, they're not.
It's very difficult to sit here and just, and I'm not trying to pick on anybody, and
Sure.
we actually will be in Monroe City, so it is the parish in the city and the parishes surrounding us. It is difficult to sit here and I'm not trying to pick on anybody, but the law says, IDEA Bulletin 1508 says you have to serve the needs of the child, of what those needs are. And having those therapies, having that intervention embedded into their classroom, we can't figure out why we figured it out, but they can't figure it out. And it's such a help to the teacher. The teacher can teach. The parents can do their job. And then the behavior therapist helps with the behavioral interventions to keep kids focused, to have them be able to not have a meltdown with their triggers. And honestly, Ben Nicholson with Pediatric Autism Center here in Monroe, Ben has been doing this for a very long time, and he knows how, has worked with us from the beginning and knows what our setup will be. And he's going to help us with things like, you have elopers in the autism world. You have kids that can be out a door quick. How to set that room up so you're not blocking the door, but you're encouraging a flow of movement around the room that they're not looking to go out the door. So there are a lot of things that go into it, and it takes time.
Sure.
So it's taken us 2.5 years, almost 3 years, to get this model secured. But we would love to be a resource to the parish. We would love to be a resource to Monroe City. We can take 96 kids.
Okay.
We can take.
What's that application process like to determine? Let's say we've got 200 people. I know the need is great. We all know the need is great. What determines what kids are eligible versus not eligible to attend the school? Because you have limited space.
Right. It's a lottery process.
Okay.
To keep it fair, it's a lottery.
So once a child gets in the school, they're able to continue.
Yes.
And
Once
then
they're
when
in, they're
openings
in.
come available, there will be an enrollment period, and then it'll be a lottery system, is what you're saying.
Correct. That's
Yes.
correct.
I think that's really the only equitable way to make something
It
like
is.
that happen.
Absolutely.
So we know that the need is great.
Mm-hmm.
Being able to specialize is going to be able to target what that child needs more effectively, right? And probably speed up that learning process because we have tools in place that are geared and catered towards that child's needs.
Correct.
What do you say to the parent or the community member that says, well, you're pulling them out of the public environment. They're not going to be able to socialize or be integrated in because they're now isolated with kids similar than what they are. What do you say to those parents, those community members? Say, well, we're not doing the best by them by pulling them out of that area.
LRE, least restrictive environment, is individualized to each child. And I know the perception around it is they want them to be included into a general education classroom, but sometimes that's just not realistic, especially for kids on the spectrum. So their LRE is in an environment that's tailored to them with like peers.
LRE, tell me what you're talking about with that. What is that abbreviation?
Least restrictive environment.
Okay, least restricted environment. So you think that as a mom with a child that has autism, you feel that that dedicated education that focuses on your child's needs is more beneficial for the long run than having maybe not adequate education, but you're trying to socialize that kid with other kids. And I mean, to me, it only makes sense. I mean, the path that you guys are going, but
Right.
those are things
I know
I've
that's
heard
a question.
before.
Absolutely.
And I want to just get it out there and
And
let you
as
guys.
a mom, that was one thing that I've thought about too, but I've said from the very beginning, Ace has a family. And he comes home, and I have so many children in and out of my house, and they're constantly, hey, Ace.